This guy is scared to death that I would mention his name on the air, so he set up a bogus email account with the name John Doe. And at the bottom, just to make sure I knew he wasn't kidding, it's signed, no name, no city. So here is his email. It goes like this. Tom, I was hoping you can comment on something. Here's the story. A buddy of mine is currently living with a bitch. His girlfriend, fiance, whatever. She has a bastard child with another guy. Months ago, I had heard that the natural father is way behind on child support payments. Coincidentally, she has recently been talking to my buddy about adopting her little bastard. I think the only reason she is asking him is that it will put him on the hook for child support payments, since the natural father isn't paying. I also feel this is unbelievably inconsiderate and insensitive to the natural father. I have no idea if they've even talked to him about this. Aside from his initial stupidity in dating a single mother, what is your take on this possible adoption? That's from John Doe. He lives at 123 Main Street, Anywhere, USA. 00000. Well, of course, the letter writer, Mr. Doe, cannot be surprised to know what I think about this. There is absolutely no reason whatsoever to adopt the little bastard child of even your girlfriend or your fiancé. No, no, no. Now, if you're merely dumb enough to want to give her money to help support her little baby, you can just do that, you moron, without having to actually take legal responsibility. It is not necessary for you to take legal responsibility. And yes, John Doe, you're exactly right. Once he adopts that child, the child support responsibility moves over to him, whether or not the relationship or any marriage works out. Then she can get her tentacles into him. So if I knew your buddy, my recommendation to him would be this. Well, first of all, don't date a single mother. Second of all, don't marry a single mother. But thirdly, if you insist on dating a single mother and you insist that it result in a marriage, never, never, never adopt her kid. Never. You can be nice to a child. Hell, when I did date a single mother, I taught her kid how to play baseball. They were from another country. I taught her kid how to play baseball. I took him to the movies I knew he might like. You know, took him on vacation, had to get separate rooms for everybody. There were costs involved. That's why I know so much about this. But it was not necessary for me to marry his mother or to adopt him. He has a father, and if his father is a deadbeat, that's his mother's fault. It's not my problem. And when the relationship with this particular woman was over, so was my obligation to her child. I had no obligation to her kid. Now, the kid was very sad to see me go, but truth be told, as much as I liked the kid, I was really trying to get into his mom's pants, and once I wasn't getting into his mom's pants anymore, there was no reason to waste my evenings or my middays going and picking the kid up at school and playing ball with him. I mean, now I got better things to do. And how many of you, come on, tell the truth. Raise your hands. Yeah, raise your hands. That's right. How many of you have gotten close to some chick's kid just so you could get in her pants? And then when you were done getting in her pants, you dropped that kid like a hot rock. Oh, yes, Mommy wants you to meet your Uncle Steve. This is my kid, Jason. I knew you two would get along. How many of you have done that? How many of you are now adults and now you realize your mommy was a slut and all those uncles you had when you were a kid, you couldn't possibly have that many uncles because your mom doesn't even have a brother. Right? You didn't realize Mommy had a libido. Yes, this is your Uncle Steve, your Uncle Bill, your Uncle Justin, your Uncle Jason. Here we go. But the point is, if you want to, and by the way, I don't recommend this, but if you insist on being involved with a single mother, there's nothing stopping you. If you want to be nice to a kid or spend money on him or whatever. But why do you need to take the legal responsibility on a permanent basis? It's just plain stupid. You're stupid for doing it. No sex is that good. And trust me, once she has your last name and your name on the dotted line of that adoption certificate, you're going to see how lousy the sex is going to get, how unsatisfied you're going to be, and then you're going to be on the hook for all that money. Am I wrong about this? Leykis.
Now, I know we've all been raised on romantic fairy tales and the notion of love conquering all. And yes, love is a beautiful thing, but let's be real here. Life isn't always sunshine and rainbows. Love alone is not enough to sustain a successful relationship. So listen up, my fellow men, because I want to address a crucial topic that affects too many of us, adopting another man's kids and getting hitched without really knowing what we're getting ourselves into.
1-800-5800-TOM, that's our telephone number. Let's go to Christopher on the Tom Leykis show. Hello.
Hey, Tom, how are you?
Doing okay.
Not doing so great, Tom.
What?
I failed the class.
What happened?
Man, let me tell you. Met this Latin girl, hotter than can be. And had 2 kids. Kids were pretty nice, but, you know, couldn't go out certain times because she had no babysitter. Unfortunately, I ended up marrying this girl. And
why'd you do that?
She looked great next to me, Tom.
Yeah? Why did you have to sign the contract?
Man, I'm an idiot, Tom.
Why did you feel the need to sign a contract?
You know, just wasn't thinking with the right head, Tom. I was not thinking.
Couldn't you just have sex with her?
Well, I did and I was, but the worst thing about this is, guys, don't do it. The kid's always, the other guy's always going to be there, and why should he have to pay for someone else's mistakes? It's just not, it's not there, you know?
Right.
And
now, wait a minute. So you married her. Did you adopt the kids, too?
She wanted me to, and I was almost going to do it, but I started listening to the Tom Leykis show, and it kind of steered me away to do that.
Oh, well, I'm glad to hear that.
That part, at least, I didn't do.
All right, so you married her. How's that working out for you?
Oh, man. You know, she's still hot, but sex is just not the same. Not at all.
Is that because of anything she's doing, or just because now you have a different perception of her?
It's just a little bit of everything, Tom. Nothing ever works out with broads that have kids. Not a damn thing.
So tell me some of the things that went wrong.
You know, I guess in the beginning, like any Latin woman, she cooked for you, did everything for you, and started slacking off. You know, she needed to give more attention to her kids, and, you know, that communication with the dad was always there, and the kids were being a little bit disrespectful after a time, after they go to the dad's house and they come to you, and then they, you know, things back and forth. So it just wasn't there anymore, and it's not worth it, you know.